I got a phone call to say what had happened in the middle of the night on the Saturday morning at like 1 a.m. Because someone was like, yo, man, why haven't you said anything? I haven't seen you tweeting or posting. Like, did you see what happened? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was asleep, when the news first broke out. So now when I wake up to it, I'm like, damn. And when I saw the CCTV footage, it didn't take me long to conclude what had happened. I could see what was going on. I observed already in the previous days the stories and everything else as it led up to that whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And the saddest part about it is that, we're congratulating the police. What? Oh, yes, they've arrested people. But, bro, the police have not released who they suspect the mastermind is, and I don't understand why they can't do that. As in, when did it become wrong for the police to say, this is the suspect, or this is who we want, this is who we're looking for? If you've got any information on this individual, please contact the police. Since when are we not calling to the public to say, listen, these are the people that we're looking for, whatever? They say they've arrested most of the guys. They say the third guy escaped or whatever, or wasn't apprehended. There's still 2 guys who need to be extradited from Swaziland. This third guy, why isn't there a wanted poster everywhere in Swaziland, in Mozambique, in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, all the way up until Tanzania? Because we know that if Thabo Bester could get there, these guys could get there as well.
Yeah.
Why don't we know who this other guy that's missing? What if he's amongst us in the streets and we don't say, hey, this is the guy they're looking for you? Why aren't we not getting that information? And why is the media not asking those questions? You watch the media from ENCA and everything else, and you watch the interviews, they're interviewing the family, and you're asking yourself, where do we get these journalists? When are we going to get someone that's just going to take all the journalists and remove them from our TV screens until we start to get serious about the journalists? The level of questioning that they're asking, they're not asking these questions. These are the most basic questions. Okay, why don't we have wanted posters?
For example, who paid them 800K?
Why can't you tell us that?
Sure.
Where did the 800K come from?
Sure.
Oh, also, the journalists themselves, once they've got the information on these suspects and the people, why aren't they giving us, this is suspect number 1, this is where he went to school, this is what he does, this is where he gains businesses, so that you've got more information. And the more information you have, then you can get the connections. You know what I mean? But the public is not being given that information. The police also, their investigation is basics. The investigation is just concluding the things that I already could think of in the first 5 minutes after I saw the CCTV footage. You understand? I'm not even a qualified investigator. I haven't even looked at a criminology book. The knowledge that I've got about forensics is limited to the fact that, the father of my primary school principal was the head of the forensics department in Joburg, Dr. Mike Cockett. And Dr. Mike Cockett, had us go to the forensics department in Pretoria and learn about forensics and criminology and ballistics, etc., etc. So apart from that little primary school tour of how forensic evidence is collected and everything else, I've got no knowledge. That's knowledge that I gained in the year 2001. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, the year 2000 in grade 4. 24 years later, 23 years later, that's the same knowledge that I'm relying on, and it's given me, the same or similar conclusions as the police, who are supposed to be experts in investigation. So that just shows you the quality of police work that we've got. Tomorrow the NPA is supposed to finalize its extradition request, and then we'll have more evidence. But even in that evidence, the evidence that's been submitted is okay, fine, these are the people that did this thing, but you don't even have a motive. So why did they do this? So they could share 800,000 rands.
Bro, but where did that money come from?
Yes. Why have we not been told that? They know where that money came from. Everyone knows where that money came from. Whose account it came from. So why are we not being told that information? Why is that person not being named as a suspect as well? Why are the people that are connected to that person not being named as suspects? Their last known associates. It's very simple. Like right now, you and I are in the same room. If you're connected to 5G on your phone and I'm connected to 5G on my phone, what they can do is that they can use the radio frequencies of the 5G signal that's going in this room and actually map out this entire room in real time, just by having two 5G devices next to each other,
But they can't do that.
They can already do that. There's the technology. They can use the signal and it's bouncing off the walls to map out two 5G devices in this. It can map out this whole entire room, map you and me out.
But why are they not doing that?
That's the thing. That's what we need to ask. Why are they not doing that? Because those resources they've got the technology. And if they need to request it, they can request it. We know that they've got means in which a week before a conference, they can get like signal jamming equipment from Israel to be flown in. So they can get that. And they can map, they can use the signals. We know how many 5G phones were there.
There was a lot of them, bro.
Do you understand?
Those guys were literally...
We could have mapped. So they know that what I'd said already was that these people needed to have followed Keenan from the airport. The reason why I said that I knew that they followed him from the airport was because I had evidence that he didn't use the VIP entrance, which means he used the public entrance, which means he could have been seen. And knowing how popular and famous he is, there's no way he can walk somewhere and be seen by 10 people or any more than that and none of them recognize him. So it would have been very easy to spot. And it meant that he used the same public entrance at the airport. The mere fact that that's the first time you've ever seen him taking a picture at the airport because he wasn't using the VIP entrance showed you everything you needed to know. And the police confirmed that these people followed him from the airport, which means that they were there with the people that were waiting to pick him up. They were together. And if there's a hit ordered, and part of this hit is that we're going to stay with him while he's doing whatever he's doing for his gig, which is the decoy, which is the reason why we bring him here, which is the trap, right? Then I need to be in cahoots with those promoters. And because I'm doing something like a hit, I'm going to actually take someone's life. And I want to make sure that no mistakes happen, the wrong person isn't killed, or he doesn't escape this whole entire thing, you know what I mean, and lives to tell the tale, right? Because there's so much pressure, I need to make sure that those people that are picking him up are also under guard. They're being guarded. So the fact that the police haven't said, booking agent, what restaurant were they at, which is the club, Benny Maverick, DJ Feel, Sasso, all of you need to be incarcerated. Why? Because there's no way that you couldn't have played a part in the commission of this crime. There's no way. It's impossible. You would have seen that you're being followed at the airport. You'd have seen that you're being followed when you go through the toll gate, because this is the places where there's CCTV cameras. So this is how you can track. They could have tracked the cameras from the airport to see that they're being followed. Track the cameras outside King Shaka. There's a toll gate. You track that they're being followed. You track that they're being followed all the way to the Hilton in Umhlanga, all of which have been confirmed by the police. They tracked that they were being followed from the airport through the toll gates. So they tailed them. And then from that place, they went to Florida Road, which is far from Umhlanga. You have to go onto the M4, drive a long way past Moses Mabhida, and then, you know what I mean? What is it? Springfield Road or something like that. I forgot the street names in Durban. But either way, to get to Florida Road is a long way from the Hilton in Umhlanga. You understand what I'm saying? So they would have followed them the entire way, all the way. And they didn't go back and forth. They went from landing to the airport. They didn't end up, the only people that made it back to the hotel after the incident were the rest of his crew.
Sure.
And that means they go back onto that same M4. They ended up not going to the club because they didn't go to the club that night. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't go to wherever they were supposed to appear. So why have those people also not been arrested? Why are they not part of the suspects? Why can't they name them as they're suspects? We're investigating. They're innocent until proven guilty. But they're suspects. We don't want them to leave the country. We don't want them to go anywhere without letting the police know. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
And the fact that, even before I went to the States, I was receiving death threats. I was receiving, threats of violence from the same people that are inside the same crew. And I ask myself, if, let's say, AKA's road manager is now calling me to threaten me because I'm upset that something happened to him. You understand? He's not calling me to say, listen, I understand you're upset, hey man, but yo, I had nothing to do with this. I was also in danger, whatever. He's calling me to say, hey, now you're raising suspicions at me. You're making people look at me funny. If you're innocent, you don't care if people are looking at you funny. You know what I mean? And if you care, it means you care more that people are looking at you funny than the fact that someone close to you died. The whole entire situation is just sad, and like, I mean, there's nothing good, there's no praise that you can say. All of it is just bad. Oh, we've been waiting to make arrests, we made it systematic. If you knew this evidence, the evidence that you've got, okay, this is the car, this is the whatever, why did you wait until now to make those arrests? How many people could have died? They say, no, we need to be systematic. No, you're lying. Because the amount of time that you allow these guys to be free, that's the amount of time that you're giving them to go and kill witnesses and to get rid of evidence and cover their tracks. The quicker you arrest these people, the less chance you've got of making it difficult to prosecute them. So the whole entire story, now that we're being fed, and because the media just are parrots, they don't question anything. Now the whole entire media is like, oh no, the cops are doing a good job. Then they'll go around, do you think the cops are doing a good job? Oh, well, I guess since they've done something, it's because the cops have done fuck all. So people are obviously going to be excited that the cops are at least doing something for once. You know what I mean? It's like, they're at least doing something. The cops used to say that, yeah, we want to at least have suspects or arrest someone within the first 72 hours. They used to say that. Now they don't say that anymore. So they say, no, with the things that we found that within the first 72 hours, we are rushing to make arrests. And then when we go to court, we haven't gathered enough information to have a conviction. I mean, you shouldn't be going for a conviction. The first appearance in court is for bail. And when when you're applying to deny someone's bail, you can state that you're still, investigating further. And that person can apply for bail, but now they're a suspect, they're recorded, it's on record. It makes it more difficult for a person who's on bail to hide evidence and not contact witnesses because they've been given an instruction not to do that, than it is for someone who's just allowed to be free, and we're just seeing how much damage they'll do while we watch closely. It's as if they're on assignment. And now, okay, no, assignment is over, it's time for you to report back to the base. So that's just the shambles of this whole entire investigation. And the way that you're looking at it, I mean, like, damn. And it's just sad that Keenan's family themselves, they don't have private investigators hired. Because if it was me, in that same institute, like, whatever is the payout from my life insurance or whatever money is got, my family is not spending that. That money is going to private investigators to ensure that we get justice, first and foremost. And then everything else we'll see after. The business, the monies, the t-shirts, we'll see after.